Hello, lords and ladies of YouTube, and welcome back to Nightly Gaming's Nightly Gaming and another episode of Kickstarter Roundup. So, moving right into our featured games of the week, I want to talk about first, Dad Quest by Sunday Month. So, their headline reads, "Raising an indestructible child can be hard." Nice, short, sweet to the point. This is an interesting game. You run around doing 2D platforming, fighting enemies, and the twist is that you use your child as the weapon. So you're chucking your kid at bad guys, running at them, using abilities. You collect items, level up, explore through the world. There seems to be some hints of story in the game, but nothing too deep from what I can see. Just kind of fun. But the platforming looks really solid. The combat is hilarious, but also actually seems pretty in-depth and enjoyable. Just well-developed overall. So this just looks like a fun game. If you're interested in backing them, there is 15 days left to do so, and I'll leave a link for you down in the description below. With that, moving on to our second game, Grey Knight by Trerplay, T-R-E-R Play. I'm not 100% sure on how to pronounce that. Their headline reads, "Grey Knight is a cinematic platformer with a dark atmospheric tone for Windows PC, inspired by the game Limbo." So this is another platforming game, but this one is much more serious than Dad Quest is. Dad Quest is a much more kind of goofy game. This one is more kind of dark and serious. This game is really focused on story. It has you trying desperately to save your daughter from these mysterious, violent, human people things that don't seem quite human. They don't seem like zombies or monsters or anything like that. They're definitely people, but they're slightly off in some way. The gray graphics add to the tense and gloomy atmosphere, and for a 2D platformer, this looks like it has a very strong and emotional story. It's not just hopping around, collect the stuff, all that kind of a thing. Good-looking platforming, really solid, interesting enemies. They definitely both help push this game to kind of the next level, make it more interesting. And if you're interested in backing them, you have 13 days left to do so, and I will leave a link down in the description below. Moving on to our third game, Dark Flame by Boris Dugdom LLC. Their headline reads, "Dark Flame is a Metroidvania action RPG storyline-based fantasy where you play as a knight who is constantly being drawn to darkness." So that says it all. This is a pure Metroidvania style game. 2D platforming, exploration, combat. It sticks tried and true to that formula. The retro graphics add that nostalgic feel, as well as having really solid looking platforming. So the actual feel of this game, it definitely lives up to the Metroidvania style. Add in some interesting enemy designs and some interesting weapons that you could use that would actually look kind of fun to use. Some kind of lobbing things, spinning blades, things like that. And you have what seems like it's going to be a really fun, gothic feeling action platformer here. So definitely worth checking out for anyone who's a fan of the old Metroidvania style games. Possibly good for any platformers or action game players that like the kind of, retro style graphics, 2D platforming kind of setup. So if you want to back them, there is 20 days left to do so, and I will leave a link down in the description below. Moving on to our recommended game to back this week, though, I want to talk about a game called Failsafe by Game Over. So, their headline reads, "Failsafe is a first-person parkour game about exploration, forgotten worlds, and secrets." So the biggest draw of this game is definitely the parkour element. It seemed really well done, lots of interesting ways to use it. You can hop around, use it for combat, all sorts of different things. But the mysterious storyline that they kind of hint at is definitely intriguing as well and is worth checking the game out for also. The graphics are nice. They're a first-person 3D game. It's all kind of smooth, not super high. It's very stylized, not super detailed textures, things like that. So if you're into that style of graphics, it's nice. But if you're more the gritty, realistic stuff, it's not going to do that for you. Seems to focus mostly on single player, which is actually kind of nice. Because we see too often in parkour games that focus on multiplayer combat and things like that, things with like Titanfall, other games like that. So it's nice to have that in a single player story driven game instead, where it's not focusing so much on the combat, although you can use it in combat and it does seem like it works very well and is interesting in that sense. The fact that it's also in kind of this mysterious sci-fi, almost, you know, it doesn't quite scream post-apocalyptic, but it definitely seems like it's like a world on the edge kind of a thing, you know, kind of cyberpunk. It's also nice for any of you who are a fan of that kind of sci-fi vibe. I definitely think this game is worth backing if you're interested in either story-driven games or parkour-style games. There's 16 days left to back them. If you're interested, I will leave a link in the description down below for you. Like I said, I definitely recommend this game. But with that said, I'm curious, what games do you think I should have mentioned this week? Or what games did I mention that you don't think I should have mentioned? Let me know in the comment section down below. Always curious to know what you guys think. But with that, if you guys enjoyed the video, click that thumbs up button. Always appreciate it. Like it. If you want to see my previous videos, I do one every single day. You can check out the channel to see all those previous videos. And if you want to see all my future videos, you can click that nice red subscribe button and see my face whenever I post anything new. Otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.